Hello, I'm sorry it's been so long since I posted. I just wanted to, I've got several paintings that I need to, kind of do finishing details on, and I thought I would record that and share it with you. So, need much, and you could argue that they don't need anything, but I don't know, that when I look at them, I just feel like there's a little something. So then I put them in the pile to do something with, and then I sit down and figure out what I want to do. And I tend to do that with either oil pastels or pen. I might get the paint out again, just depends. I really like the way this one is, but I'm just want to do a couple little things. And it's kind of intuitive, but I'm looking for, is there a focal point I need to enhance? Can I add a little bit of interest? Do I want to add some gold pen? Because, I love my gold pen. Or sometimes a white or off-white marker. Do I need to sign it? All that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm feeling like I might want to do some subtle line work. In certain places. Probably can't even see that. Just adds, I don't know, a little interest. I'm going to do a class at some point on a painting like this, so you can kind of see from the beginning the process. Maybe I'll get the thicker one out. And by the way, I have links to pretty much all the supplies I use on my website at SuzanneAllard.com. And a lot of them are on Amazon, which means I get a small percentage of the sale, and that helps me buy more supplies and share more videos and do supply reviews and things like that. So check it out. I'm just looking at the gold and making sure it's balanced. It doesn't have to be everywhere, but I'll come down here and sign. I think that feels done, at least for now. All right, let's look at this one. Also have a newsletter that, well, it used to be every other week, and then it used to be every month, and now, I don't know, I'm trying to do it every month, but I try to send out some sort of inspirational article, like the last one, which is on the blog. That's where all newsletter articles go after they're sent out, but that one's called The Myth of Talent. And if you haven't read that one, I encourage you to, because I think talent is the wrong concept of talent, I think, is responsible for untold creative stifling. So that's all I'll say to get you to go check it out. But so this one's a little different color palette, and there's some things I really like about it, but some things are bothering me a little bit. So I'm just thinking about what's bothering me and why, and sometimes I do something and then undo it because that turned out not to be what I wanted. The acrylics on these paintings are Nova Color. Nova Color is that, let me get a can of it to show you. It's the brand that you have to buy online. It's not sold in stores, it's made in California. And I know for international people, it's just the shipping's too expensive. But anyway, they contacted me and asked me to put together a Suzanne Allard bundle, so I did, and that's also, there's a link to that on my website too. Any acrylics you have will work. You don't need to spend money on paints that if you already have them. But if you're looking to add to your stash, the quality and the colors that Nova has, it's really an artist grade paint at a student grade price. So when you're looking to, you know, when you run out or you're looking to get yourself a treat, I don't know anybody not happy with them. And then sometimes on the top I add the aqua gouache, which you hear me talk about, which is really just an acrylic that is been made to be matte. I think I have a video on the differences, paint differences, but a matte chalky finish like regular gouache has. I'm looking for a mustardy color to kind of pick up this mustard that's here and there. Hope you guys had some good holidays. We had our kids, we have adult kids, and they were here, and it was nice. We just hung out and loved on our doggie, Zoe, our rescue pit bull mix, but we call her a pibble. And she's incredibly sweet and snuggly. In fact, yeah, she's under the table. She likes to sleep in that bed under the table here when I'm in here. I think I need to stand back. So one of the ways to evaluate a painting is to get distance from it. So I'm going to stand up, and what can help do that also is take a picture of it with your phone, and it'll give you some perspective. This is less dark as I'm standing here looking at it on the camera versus in person. It's lighter in real life, because when I look at it in the camera, this looks darker than I'd want it, but I can't think of anything I want to do to it now. So we'll put that one aside. And here's the next one. This one, I really like the way it is overall composition. So when a painting curls like this, you just carefully, you don't want to put a crease in the paper, but you can kind of massage it straight. And this is watercolor paper. I always use 140 pound. They have different ones on the supplies tab on my website. I like also acrylic paper lately, because that you don't need to gesso that, and it's really thick. I think it's 190 pound. So So anyway, I really like how this one is. So I'm probably just going to add a few little bits and sign it and be done with it. I've been thinking about putting together a larger class on unleashing your creative spirit, just because I hear from a lot of people that they see things they want to create and they buy the classes, including mine, and then they don't start, or they're afraid to start. And just that whole mental part of creating that can kind of keep us stuck sometimes. It happens to everyone, but over the last, I don't know, year or so, I would say I've worked on various ways to get past that, because I needed it for myself, and so that's how we figure things out, when we figure them out for ourselves, and then I want to share it. So I'm just thinking about that. I love to be able to help people get past that, and I always say, you don't know what you're capable of. None of us do. How would we know? We have no idea, and so many of us either were given messages or somehow we're told this or that. What did I hear the other day? Someone was told, I was listening to a podcast, and this woman said she was told by a teacher, no less, that she was a terrible storyteller. Can you imagine that? Being told that by a teacher. So she's an adult and didn't realize that was still operating in her life. And clearly that was just a bad teacher. But to the child who heard it, it had, a real impact. And I've had people tell me that they had an art teacher tell them they weren't creative. My dad was told, years ago that he should never sing. So he never did after that. So it could be that we've gotten messages like that, but it could also be that we tell ourselves that we're not creative, which doesn't exist, by the way. Everyone's creative in some way, shape, or form. So I'm liking this. I think I might want to add Posca pens, if you don't know about them, are just a wonderful tool. I reorganized my studio over the holidays, and it was really due for a, you know how a space can just get cluttered, and then it sort of gets demoralizing because you don't, anyway, I had let it get to that point. And I'm gonna blot that. I'll show you if I want an effect, but not quite that intensely, then I blot either the pen or the paint. I want those a little bit whiter. I found a great box, by the way. I keep looking for different containers when I reorganize. This was at IKEA, and it fits the Posca markers perfectly. I can see what I've got. I have this round fabric case which is also good, but it's just too floppy. So those of you that are not students yet, meaning you haven't signed up for a class or joined a class, when you do, we have a Facebook group. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. People say all the time that it's the most supportive art group they've ever been a part of, and I think it's, I don't know, maybe 12,000 students on there now. Anyway, it's a great place to just get encouragement, and I pop in there, but the students themselves are so encouraging because we're all about love and we're not about critiquing artwork. I don't really believe in that concept for this, because this is about you discovering what you like to create, and if something's bothering you in a painting, then that's personal, and it's about figuring out what you want to do about it. And I mean, people will say, if they ask, listen, I really want your opinion on this, you know, what should I do or what should I add? And you know, people offer if you ask, but it's really about loving on each other. So make sure you get a welcome email when you sign up for classes, and make sure that the link to the Facebook group is in there. So make sure you join that. Oh, this is a pretty color. That's what I like about this oil pastel set. Just the variety of shades. Are you done? I think you might be. I don't want to clutter you up too much. I think you're done for now. Okay. Maybe we'll do one more. Maybe we'll do a floral. I don't know that I need to do much more on this. And if I do, I think it's going to be paint. So we'll do that later. All right, this one. It's overall just a little too saturated. And it's fun, but it's lacking a focal point because there's just too much calling my attention. So I'm gonna tone some back with my fat Posca. And if I tone it back too much, I can always bring some things back out. You know, with paint, you can always just keep playing until it's where you want it. I posted on Instagram recently that these little pots keep appearing in paintings. It started about, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And I was thinking, wonder where these are coming from. And I grew up moving a lot. My dad worked for the government, so we were always moving, and we moved mostly in Latin America. And every 2 or 3 years we'd move. And my mom, you know, it was hard for her because she's an avid gardener. Like, gardens just make her happy. And so she would find a way, no matter where it was, whether it was an apartment or a house, to make sure there was a garden, or at least pots. And sometimes often there were lots of pots, plants and philodendrons and so many types of pots, plants. And so I think it's from that. I think it's from my mom and her desire to just keep that part of that beauty around for all of us. I've been using this color a lot more. Soft. It's a peach. Let's see, what's the name of the color? Some of these are in Japanese, so I can't tell you the name of the color. Some are in English, like this one is Ivory. I use that a lot too. Standing back or trying to get back and think about where I want to draw attention and where I want to pull up and push back. It's always it's not the easiest thing to do for me because I do like colorful, exciting artwork. So my challenge is usually to tone things down rather than make them more exciting. They're usually pretty exciting and need to be they need to settle down a little bit. So I'm pushing this blue back a little bit. And let's see, I'm going to get a palette knife because you can scrape through oil pastel so that it's not so intense. Let's see. Feeling like I want to draw this out, and I want to do it with a mustardy yellow. Where did I do that? Where did I put my mustard? I had it while we were talking. Oh, there it is. Maybe. Sort of mustardy. I could either do it with that, or I can do it with yellow Posca. I can also do it with paint. It's probably the safest bet. We'll see how I like this. It's pretty, but I think I want more of a pop, so I'm going to do the other two leaves with a mustard paint. You can't put paint on top of oil pastel, but you can put oil pastel on top of paint. So I'm not going to do any more, and I'll leave those, but then on these I'll do something and pop. I'm just trying to make this area more of a focal point. And I still need to push some things back. This one's going to have to probably take a few sessions of this massaging, I call it, I guess, to get it where I feel like it's where it needs to be. So we'll set that aside. Let me see what else I have here. I think that's good for now. Yeah, this one I think I'm gonna do some maybe line work of plants here. And I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with this one. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm going to do a video. I think I started to say this and got distracted. My new studio organization and layout, because it's just, I really like the space. It's not a dramatic change, but I'm going to film that. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but I'll show you and show you around and so forth. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and happy creating this week. Bye.